You are now entering the MuseCast.
We're here.
It's on the other side. I'm sorry. I was looking at the right corner. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the MuseCast. This is episode 73. We are climbing the ladder. And we have Maurice Mangum with us tonight. And Maurice, me and him have made music videos together. We've done 2 videos so far. He's a singer-songwriter, insanely awesome voice.
All right, let's all pretend it's okay.
Great songwriter, and he recorded with John Kurzweg. He does a bunch of stuff up at Gasoline Alley regularly. And Maurice, welcome to the program.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry about
being here.
Yeah, dude. This is so exciting. So, first of all, unfortunately, this episode is going to come out after I believe you're performing this weekend. But don't you perform like every weekend?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I'm always playing. If my eyes are open, I'm usually playing a show somewhere.
And are you playing mostly around Tallahassee? You're just sticking around here?
Believe it or not, yeah. It's the craziest thing. They keep asking me to come back. You know,
Heck yeah.
same venues. It's crazy.
Hey, if they tell them if they don't know any better, you're gonna keep showing up.
That's right.
That's what I tell them.
I'm gonna be here again next week at this time. So.
Yeah, man. And you get up solo, don't you? I mean, a lot of times you're up there with just an acoustic guitar, right?
Yeah, 99.9% of the time, man. It's just me. I'm looking to find that right guitarist, like lead guitarist, to sit and play candy parts with me. Kind of like Gio from the Brown Goose did last weekend at the Word of South Festival.
Okay, nice.
He played with me. Yeah, we did a little duo. It was awesome.
Oh, cool. You know, I don't know Gio. Dick, do you know Gio?
Really?
I don't think I do.
From the Brown Goose?
Yeah. You know, Barry is really the only one that I know. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I only know Barry.
All right. Gio's amazing.
And
they're a great band.
Great. Yeah, they're all great.
That was at the Word of South Festival?
Yeah.
Awesome. Was that at the same time? Wasn't the Worm Grunting Festival was recently, right? And
I think it was just after the Word of South, I think. Yeah.
Okay. Because I talked to Kyle Oligood the other night, and he said that he played a show. He said it was his first time at the Worm Grunting Festival, and he learned all sorts of stuff about worm grunting. And I was like, how do you not know what that is, being where we're at?
You know, I've never been to the Worm Grunting Festival, and I don't know what worm grunting is.
I've never been to it, but I know what it is.
Okay.
Now, we don't need to bog up time talking about worm grunting on this episode, but I promise you.
Let's start it off Southern if we will.
Look up Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs did an episode down there in Sop Choppy. And like someone I know, a girl I know, her husband at the time, her name's Darcy, and her husband's name is like Snap or Skip or something like that. One of the weird Southern names. He was on the show like with Mike doing the thing. They stick a stick in the ground. You do a file on it. It makes a brrr, and the worms come to the top of the surface. It's beautiful.
Oh, that's the approach. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's all we're talking about worm grunting. Maurice,
I think we're done.
Take it away.
I think we're good. No, well, Mo, did you go to Gasoline Alley tonight? Were you just there tonight?
No, we have historically been doing either Tuesday night or Thursday night. Kyle and I.
Yeah.
For the past several weeks, we've gotten pushed back for whatever reason. But
well, he's got that new board, right?
That's the reason. It's no longer a secret.
It's no longer a secret. I know, right? I have not seen it yet. I saw photos of it, but I've not been up close to it yet or used it yet.
Yeah.
Tonight was supposed to be my night to go in there and try.
Man.
It didn't happen because he was still hooking everything up. So.
Yeah.
And here you are.
And here,
Much better.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Why make music when you can talk about it?
You can't. You can't deny talking about it with me and Ash is way cooler than tracking it with Kyle.
I mean, we love Kyle. Wish you were here.
Oh man, I love.
We had
Kyle.
him on. He's great.
Yeah. And we'll have him on again. And Dick, you're working on something. I don't know if you're making a public announcement about it, but you're going to do something with Kyle. Come in.
I am doing something with Kyle. Kyle and I had a conference call the other night, and just a side tangent. I knew what he was putting in. He couldn't tell me, but I knew it was a console. He released it. I think it's a big early 2000s SSL console because he said it was the Celine Dion Soul console or something. But he's got this excellent scar on his forearm. I have tattoos that cover it up, but he has on his forearm when he was putting it in, he showed me the night I talked to him 3 perfect lines that are completely parallel with his forearm where he literally sliced himself open on the back of the console. But it looks so cool, the 3 lines. It looks like a symbol. I said, you need to get that tattooed. That is day one console, baby. Like you never forget. Put that thing in and make some magic.
It's like 9 Inch Nails.
Yes.
3 lines.
Yeah. It kind of is similar to that.
Kyle's favorite band, I'm sure.
I'm sure. No, but Kyle's excited because we talked about doing a project together, and I said, hey, because my son's been playing, and I want to get my son in a studio to do some more tracking, and we're gonna do like a weird Southern banjo haunt. The premise that we came up with is the instruments that tell stories, right? Like every instrument has a story. So this banjo. And I'll recreate this story because I felt bad for saying this. So the banjo that I have was given to me by a guy named Keith Sutton. And Keith Sutton, I met back in 2012. He was a homeless guy. Back across the street from the old, what was that place called? The Warehouse, right? On Gaines Street? Yeah, the Warehouse. Yeah. Across the street from the Warehouse.
Love the Warehouse.
There used to be a little radiator shop right there. And I worked for a general contractor that built some of the student housing on either side of the radiator shop. And Keith was a homeless person living in a tent behind the radiator shop. And we hired him as a laborer through the labor pool. And he was severe alcoholic, just rough, down on his luck, kind of living in a tent behind the radiator shop, and he worked with us, worked with me directly, and just did a great job. He ended up moving back in with his sister in Tallahassee, got his driver's license back, got his truck back, an old F-150. And then for whatever reason, a couple years later, he said, hey, I've got this banjo. Can you restring it? And I said, yeah, sure. And then I restrung it for him. I said, hey, it's ready to go. This thing's cool. He was like, oh no, you keep that, man. Thank you. Wow. And I was like, oh, cool. So I got this special banjo that I can't play, but Kyron's been picking it up. And I'm like, I want to get him in the studio and track on this banjo.
Yeah.
So the banjo has a story. The other half of that is I've got my mother's 1977 Martin acoustic auditorium. It's a 00028. It's a guitar that I learned on. Some of the first songs I wrote as a guitar player were on that guitar. And for the last decade, it's been broken. She accidentally stepped on it and cracked the headstock, and it broke her heart, broke my heart, one of those things. And just finally I got it into Gary Hudson's shop, and he's fixing it, and it's going to be done next weekend. I'm going to go pick it up. And then that first thing we're doing, I told Kyle, I was like, got to get that thing in the studio because I haven't played that guitar in over a decade. And I can't even think of how it sounded. I just remember it sounded so much better than all the other acoustic guitars that I had or that I played or anything. And it's like in my circle, like my friend's circle with Big Dave and Kurt, like the Martin is like this mythological thing now. It's like, because it's been gone so long, it's coming back. And that's kind of the catalyst for the recording session with Kyle, is like, get in there, get these instruments in there. They tell stories, and we're going to see what that story is, whatever it turns out to be.
I wish I could be in your headspace when you first sit down to play it, dude, because I know that feeling. You can't see it right now, I don't think, but over my shoulder.
Now that I changed the camera. Wait a second, I can get it back. We've got time. We've got time.
It's still early.
Over on top of my shoulder, right up there in that.
There it is.
Yeah. Behind the photo.
Yep.
Is a 1932 Kay Mandolin.
Oh,
and
wow.
My granddad, my dad's dad, bought it when he was 17 years old, and he was in a Southern bluegrass group with his two cousins and his brother, and they played together until he passed away.
Nice.
They would get together and just play in the barn. And
do you play it? Do you break it out?
No. It's got the same. I wish I would have had. I used to have it out like hanging on the wall and stuff, but it's got the exact set of strings on it. The last time he played it, he broke 2 strings. I
see.
So it's got a couple of strings still on there and 2 that are hanging, but the neck is pulled away from the body. I took it to Gary, and he's like, man, unless you just want to invest in, your sentiment, he's like, it's not really worth fixing it. The wood is kind of brittle. And I was like, nah.
He said the same thing to me when I brought in a guitar that my father-in-law wanted to repair, and he's like notorious. My father-in-law has notoriously found some of the best pawn shop guitars, but this one was questionable, and he brought it to Gary, and he's like, really thought it was, I gotta have this one's we gotta bring it back from the grave. And Gary was just honest. He's like, this was never a great guitar to begin with, and it's going to be a lot of money to get this if you really want to pursue this.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's worth it. And so I he didn't have the budget for it. So I was like, yeah, I get it. Thanks for the diagnostic check.
Yeah. It is. That's understandable, but it's more difficult when it's the sentiment, when the sentiment's in there too, right?
Totally. That's different. There's a pawn shop guitar he found, and he thinks it's a jewel versus attached to a whole life story, like what you guys are talking about. I get it. I mean, that's, if there's a chance Dick's interested in me coming in and throwing an idea on the song somewhere. And so I think I might do
more than that.
Okay, all right. I don't want to.
We'll be sending stuff back and forth here soon.
Okay, so I'm going to hop on this recording, and I'm kind of inclined. I mean, we'll see. I don't know what it sounds like yet, but I'm inclined to maybe use my first guitar ever that my dad bought me, that I tried to sell 3 times as a kid, that wouldn't learn how to play guitar, and then ended up. That might be the one.
That's the one, because it's about only the instruments tell the story.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's the one I'll bring. I got to figure out something with
that. Sorry to interrupt. It'd be an awesome title and photo for this whole project.
What's that?
Stepping stones, and have each instrument that you grew up playing like stepping stones.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Well, we'll need to get a drone for that, because it's going to be.
There's all 3. No, but that's the thing, right? Because I have instruments that I'm not attached to, but for the most part, I become attached to them. I've had instruments that I'm not attached to, and they don't usually last very long. Like the one behind me right there, for whatever reason, like that's a mid 2000s LTD Horizon 1000, and I swapped the pickups out. And I do this dumb thing where originally this guitar had active pickups, and I don't like actives, I like passives. So this guitar, I had to do this stupid thing where I had to drill a hole to connect the pickup section to the bridge, and I had to put a ground to the bridge, because passive pickups have to be grounded to the bridge, where an active pickup has a battery and it's like a closed circuit system, and it doesn't have to. I do all this extra work to this thing to get it to work, but for whatever reason, like the P on all my guitars stands for Paul, my late father, and this one I keep turning my head to point at it.
No, there was this crazy sound. Did you guys hear that sound? Did you hear that sound? Oh, I just heard it. So literally, as you said, Paul. And it was like this shrieking, like, I don't know if it's going to be in the recording or not.
That's insane. I'm going to have to come back and listen and see if it's there.
We will. What's the time marker? 14 minutes.
14:19 is what I got right now. But yeah. This guitar, I recreated my dad's tattoo on that guitar. And I'll show it real quick. Just
it happened again, brother.
see the
hey, I see me in it.
Paul? See, it says Paul.
Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
So the story with my dad's tattoo is he had a on his arm, he had a scroll with roses, and it was all pretty, like the scrolls you get your girlfriend's name on, but he had his name on it, Paul. And he never really would tell me. My mother told me what the story was. And the story was he was in the Army in the 50s, and his girlfriend back home's name was Aloysius. And so he did what all the guys in the 50s did when they're deployed in the Army and serving in Korea, is he went on leave. And he went and got a tattoo of a scroll with roses, and her nickname was Al. And so he had the name Al tattooed with roses, and everybody gave him so much shit about Al. And then, of course, he didn't stay with Aloysius. So instead of covering the tattoo, he just changed the Al to Paul.
That's great.
His name.
Wow.
So that stories, man, instruments with stories. That's
that's awesome.
You gotta find the connections, I guess.
Mo, you on both the videos you used the same acoustic guitar, didn't you? Or did you change it up? I'm trying to remember.
Are you like the same one?
Fondly attached to your acoustic? Is this the one you use 90% of the time, or
no? Sadly, the truss rod broke in that guitar, and
what kind of guitar was it?
Good old buddy told me that he couldn't fix it, so I gotta find someone that'll take it. Yeah. It's an '84 Countryman.
Countryman. I've never heard. Is that Countryman is the brand? That's the
no. It's a okay. Gosh, I'm gonna sit here and forget the name brand of the guitar.
Oh, is it an Alvarez? It's not an Alvarez.
Thank you. Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Oh,
I forget about Alvarez. Those
it's
are
an olive sunburst, dude, and it's got little star inlay on the.
She has all but forgot everything she knows about the way you're supposed to feel when you're in love. Don't take for granted when she's smiling at her phone. She's probably letting go.
And you said it's an 84?
1984. And it was they made them, they were like $350, $400 when they were brand new. But they came with no electronics at all. So I was working at Killarney Lakes Taekwondo. And one of the ladies in there, she knew that I played guitar. And she came to me and she says, I have this old guitar in my attic. It was my husband's. He bought it brand new, played it for a little while, and it just stayed in the attic. Can you tell me a little bit about the guitar? I said, sure. So she brought the guitar in. I was like, I've never seen this before, but it's absolutely beautiful. Let me do some research. So I emailed the head tech guy at Alvarez. And I said, hey, here's a photo of this guitar. Here's the serial number. He's like, oh my gosh, that's an 84 Countryman. He's like, there weren't a whole lot of them made. But he said,
the truss rod. Sorry about this truss rod situation. That sucks.
Like, you got an extra truss rod piece back there? No, but so I told her about it. I said, back then it was worth $400. It doesn't have any electronics in it right now, so it would be really hard to sell unless you found a collector. And she's like, well, I mean, do you think it's worth playing? Like, would you play it? I said, I'd absolutely play it. Yes, ma'am. How much you want for it? And I was going to give her $400 for it. And she said, just give me $50.
No way.
So I bought the guitar for $50.
Wow.
Spent $7 something for the electronics.
Okay.
Yeah. Invested.
Yeah.
And I've loved the guitar. It's in my living room right now behind my chair. Like every time I get up, I see it. Just so I don't forget to go take it somewhere to get it fixed.
Remind you every time.
Yeah. But that one, I love that guitar. But
I feel its pain because I was born in '94, so I know how my truss rod feels on a daily.
You mean 84, right?
84.
Oh, hey!
Don't cheat us.
This is my breed love. This is my this is my main guitar.
That is cool. That is. Did you sand that? Did you age that? Yeah, that looks
supposed to look like.
Yeah. No, but that's cool. That's cool.
I love it,
very
man,
cool.
because no fingerprints. One.
Yeah.
How many photos have you got with your favorite guitars and they're shiny and
pasty? Yeah. The gloss on top looks like the reflection in my glasses.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
The second thing is it's so smooth on your wrist, and I'm a very rhythmic player. And so I love how smooth the tops. I sand all of them down.
Yeah, you sanded that. It's almost like a satin finish now.
It is.
Yeah.
Does that? I've never done that. Does that change the tone at all?
It makes it warmer.
Really? It makes it warmer.
I've got a Taylor 214. I did the same thing too.
Yeah.
And it's warmer.
Interesting.
The top is so much because the strings are attached. The bridge is attached to the top of the guitar.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of times, right, the back and sides will be typically a rosewood or a mahogany. Right. Rosewood's a little bit brighter, a little bit more traditional acoustic guitar sound. Mahogany's a little darker, a little warmer. And Ash, you and I went through this because my Yamaha is the rosewood back and sides. Your Yamaha, you got the mahogany.
Right.
But the tops are usually like a spruce or like a maple, a hardwood top to give it a brighter. It's a stiffer wood, so it holds the tension well, right?
Yeah.
And then the wood gives it a brighter tone. But sanding that finish off lets it breathe a little more, I would imagine. Just kind of gives it. Doesn't soften it up, but it takes the lacquer finish is gone, so now it has more of a natural. There's it breathes. The best way I can describe it is it breathes, right?
It does. And if you in engineer terms, I guess, and if you're looking at a spectrum, the sound spectrum, it probably rounds off the brightness, like the
That's what I was going to ask. If it kind of just took that out of the just a
not
little layer.
But it's still there if you dig in on it. Like a lot of times you dig in on a certain part, you can get it. But for the most part, it's sleepy, which I love.
When you're going into Gasoline Alley with Kyle, are you mostly laying down acoustic and vocals? Is that kind of like what you are consistently going there and recording with him on?
On the first EP that John oversaw, every single recording, Kurzweg.
John Kurzweg.
Yeah. Yes, that's what I did, because I played the main acoustic guitar, sang the lead vocal, Kyle played the drums and percussion, and John did everything else. Everything else. Guitar solos, keys, bass, everything else.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's and backup. Yeah, you did backup vocals too. And
he's got a great voice too.
Oh yeah.
As I crawled on up to the altar, man, had to fall right down on my knees. For if I'm to blame for all these things I've done, well, I just never knew another way to be. No, I never knew another way to be. Won't you say goodbye to the ones you love and say goodbye for me? Won't you say goodbye to the ones you love and say a goodbye prayer for me?
Oh yeah, it's got a
His voice
really
is awesome.
great concentrated vibe to the record, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But on the second one here lately, Kyle and I have been experimenting a lot more. Just because we have the, you know, there's nothing when we're there. There's nothing to interfere. Like John's a busy guy, super busy. You know what I mean? And but when Kyle and I go in there, we're able to experiment and play. And I've been doing some writing some solos, and I've got this really cool Gretsch hollow body that I go in there and play in the background. It's this guy right here.
Real cool.
You know what I mean? This guy's beautiful, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Nice.
yeah. It's got the Bigsby.
Yeah.
Nice.
So cool. I love those kind of guitars.
Yeah, man, they're so sweet.
Rockabilly styles.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, they got a cool ring to them.
And are you guys working on an EP, a second EP?
Yeah.
This is like 5 or 6 songs.
Right now we have 4 in the mix, and we did. That's so funny. We have 4 for the second EP. Pretty much, we're 80% there.
Yeah, I get
and
that.
then back in November, I went to Nashville and recorded 3 other songs. At Blackbird.
On top of these 4.
Yeah, at Blackbird.
Wow.
But tonally, they're totally different. Vibe-wise, totally different.
Yeah.
But so now I have 3 songs for the third EP. The second one hadn't even come out yet.
Oh, so on the third EP, are you thinking that you're going to go? I talked over you when you said the studio. This was a studio in Nashville called what now?
Blackbird.
Blackbird. Yeah. And are you going to go back there to record an additional 2 so it matches?
I'm going to go back to Nashville. I'm not sure if we're going to go do Blackbird again.
Okay.
I would love to, because I fell in love with that room, man. It's not a hard thing to do. It's a crazy place, you know. But anywhere there would be great, because it'll be basically the same people. I did 3 songs with I co-wrote all 3 songs with a guy named Phil Madeira, and Phil plays keys and is band leader for Emmylou Harris.
Oh wow!
And, yeah, and then one of the songs I co-wrote with Cindy Morgan. She's a really popular Christian artist.
Awesome.
And then Jeff Carson was another one of the writers. And then Steve Hendelong, who was the drummer for this band out of LA back in the 80s called The Choir. I don't know if you remember them. They were a Christian band, but kind of undergroundish, you know?
Okay.
And Steve also wrote Third Day's God of Wonders.
Okay.
So
I'm not familiar with the catalog, but I just know that Nashville is just, I've never really gotten to be in Nashville.
Melting pot of musicians.
It's oozing with talent. I mean, so many musicians have moved there, and those studio musicians and the songwriters that you don't know the faces of that are behind the scenes coming up with these hits. It's beautiful. It's cool. It's exciting. It'd be neat to collaborate, but it's also intimidating to know. You see how far you can go as a musician, technically and songwriting wise. It's like overwhelming that level of command over the instrument and songwriting.
You immediately find. Now I had to get over this I don't know if it was anticipation or nervousness or just this basic anxiety of, oh my gosh, I'm about to go in this killer studio with this killer band. I mean,
Yes.
It was Emmylou Harris's band.
Yeah.
Boys. It was the entire band.
Yeah. It's intimidating, man.
It's really intimidating because we're
going to build a song around me, guys.
They're reading a sheet with hieroglyphics on it. And I'm like, I know how it goes. I'm just going to not listen to everybody else.
Yeah, they're explaining what you're doing, and you're like, "Oh, okay, cool. That's what that is."
when really, they're probably all good enough. Like they've never heard your song. You probably just walk in there and look over and say, "All right, key a D, boys."
Yeah,
they kill it. The first one.
It's unreal, man.
Dude, we did like 3-4 takes of things, and that was only because,
wow.
Like the bassist might go, man, I'm just make a playlist. I'm just really feeling this. Let's do 2 more.
Yeah. It's not even needed. It's just for fun.
Yeah, it's totally for vibe. It's nobody's messed up. It's just like, I wonder what can be done,
Yeah.
It's so cool. And
let me throw 2 more flavors on this. Let me throw 2 more flavors on it, Mo. Roll it, Pete.
Roll it.
That's cool,
that's
man.
a third. And you know what? Kyle and I are trying to adopt a lot of what went on at Blackbird.
Okay.
Over at Gasoline.
Oh, now Kyle went with you.
He did.
That's great.
Oh, cool.
What an experience for Kyle.
One of the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. I mean, that's exactly what it should be doing, is getting into more studios and getting to see how different people, everyone's got to approach this so differently.
Man, there is how I met Phil Madeira and all these other people, Steve Hindalong, Cindy Morgan, was through a writer's retreat that I went to last July, and it was up in Hot Springs, North Carolina. Go to this writer's retreat. It's amazing. I write 6 songs that week, bring all this music home and all these new friendships. And then a month or 2 later, Western North Carolina just gets wiped off the map. And that was one of the towns.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the towns.
Right. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
And for people, this is a timeless episode potentially, but that was the hurricane.
That was the hurricane. Yep.
Which one was it? I'm forgetting the name of which hurricane.
It came through here. It came through
Helene
here.
or
Helene.
which one it is.
You guys keep talking. I'll fact check it.
Yeah, look it up. This one
forget.
was supposed to hit Tallahassee dead on. Me and my family stayed in the house. People thought we were crazy. I was starting to second guess myself. My wife's stomach is turning in knots. We're hearing, actually, that was like a month before. There was like a series of hurricanes. This is why we have it mixed up, guys. There was like 3 in a row. But this one in particular really just bypassed Tallahassee almost completely. And then went on a rampage.
Yeah.
All the way up the East Coast and ending in North Carolina, right? Did it make it as far as Virginia, or just it stopped right there in North Carolina?
It was Helene. It was Hurricane Helene.
Okay.
It was Hurricane Helene. It said the hurricane recently devastated North Carolina was Hurricane Helene, which struck in late September 2024. Became the deadliest and costliest storm in the North Carolina state history, causing catastrophic damage across western North Carolina.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And they're still trying to put things back together. I mean, they need a lot of relief help still, and they're struggling to get it, as far as I understand. So.
Oh yeah, they have been for a long time, and
it's
changed. I think it's slowly changing, but
I hope so.
Yeah, man, me too. But a month later, after this great thing, and then this happens, and your heart bleeds for all these people that you just met, like all the business owners, the restaurant owners, the inn owners where we stayed, and we just were kind of. Phil puts it on Madeira. He's like the leader guy. He puts it on. He's like, man, I don't know if we're going to do this year or not, because how can I find a place just as special as Hot Springs? So we ended up, he talked to some friends in Nashville, and we're going to actually do it in Nashville this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we're going back in July. And this time, Kyle's coming with me, and he's going to participate as one of the writers.
Oh, sweet.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Nice.
I'm excited about that because he and I just started doing some co-writing together.
Yeah.
And he's so good at what he does, man.
Awesome. Well, the only thing I know I've gotten to hear of his is his drumming and his recording, and both are fantastic. So but I understand he plays other things, and he's like, he can songwrite. So I'm real anxious to hear what manifests out of that experience, man. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Oh yeah. And that's going to be in July. That's July this year.
13th through the 17th. Yep.
Nice.
Man. I might have to sign up for one of these things. As a little vacation one time. That'd be cool.
We talked about.
Well, how does that work? How do you
reach out to Phil? That he usually has a link on Facebook or Instagram or something like that. If you guys really are interested, I'll reach out to him and ask him.
Possibly so. I mean, and if he has a link already set up, which maybe he doesn't, well, give me the link. We'll put it in the show notes, and we'll share that too, so people can find out about it.
Cool.
I'm potentially interested. I don't know. My timeline's a little weird right now. I kind of had something I wanted to talk about tonight. There's a real. I think this is so cool, man. There's a big thing that I think is going to be cool. It could be a small thing, but I'm making it a big thing.
Good.
All right.
Keep it PG.
It's PG all the way. It's all the way. All right. So it's more and more people are going to find out about this and could participate in it to the point that it cuts off. There's only a limited window of doing it. But you guys know the director, Robert Rodriguez?
Yeah.
He did Desperado, Sin City, Planet Terror, Spy Kids. He did all the Spy Kids movies. He's notoriously known as like the guerrilla film director guru who made or mercenary or guerrilla, because he made El Mariachi for $7,000, and it's this movie that was supposed to just be a test run to pitch the idea for a movie. Then it gets purchased and becomes a big hit, and then gets bought over again in Desperado, and became Desperado. So he did that with $7,000. So he's inspiring to a lot of filmmakers, and now he's doing a run of interviews and everything. And basically, to cut to the chase, I'm officially a investor in his next 4 movies, and I'm going to be going to his giant studio in Austin, Texas at some point over, I guess, the next year, or the timeline's a little bit fuzzy of when this happens. But yeah, I own a piece of the pie, and I'll be rooting for the profits to come in. I'm going to get to follow along on the entire journey of these films coming into fruition, see all the processes that happen of not just making the movie, but selling the movie, and the different pipelines and channels that it has to go through, and the different price points that things are sold at, and how it all works, which is so valuable for me. And when you become an investor, you also get to, everyone who's an investor pitches one movie idea, and they will make, the 4th movie will be one of those ideas. And I already know what I'm going to pitch. It's my El Mariachi done on no budget. Cue the Muses.
That's right.
I'm going to pitch this guy. I'm going to try to meet Robert. I'm going to pitch the team. I'm going to show him the test example, which is our show. I'm going to say they all have to be action movies, and I'm saying the thing it's missing is the action. We want to add crazy fight scenes to this. I know Kung Fu. Dick knows Jiu-Jitsu. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's make some fun Robert Rodriguez machete-style editions. If we need to reshoot the whole damn thing under your leadership, let's do it. As long as the music stays the same, I'm in. We could maybe keep the music videos and reshoot everything else. Whatever you want to do, Robert.
Whatever needs to happen, Mr. Rodriguez, whatever needs to happen. But we also have access to legit martial artists as well.
Oh, dude.
Not to say that we're not.
They've got, I mean, like, the main thing is pitching the idea, and Dick, dude, in his amazing interviews that are out that I'm going to be posting online for people to check out, because they're the most inspiring talks I've listened to in a long time for anyone creative, just being creative. And he is talking about the Muse the entire time. I mean, he keeps defaulting to, you got to get out of the way and become the hands for the like creative spirit to work through you, and then it takes the ego out of it.
Yeah.
And it makes it not scary anymore. And then it's not about what you did, it's about allowing for the pipe to flow. And I'm like, man, we've got a movie / show, whatever we want to make of it. It's called Cue the Muses, as we're fighting about the evil AI. We team up with muses and go into people's minds and collaborate with them musically and bring back songs to fight the AI. And look, here's the El Mariachi example. We've got the show, dude. We've got 3 episodes already.
We're not fighting to bring back only humanity's creative forces, but the Muses as well. One song will not suffice, gentlemen. We need 4, a full rock EP.
Okay, man, on my 3 count, engage your pedal for transport. 1, 2, 3.
Ash.
Dick? And the 4th one's in the can, but if we need to reshoot, we'll reshoot on your giant studio. This dude owns Troublemaker Studios. It's in Austin, Texas. It's one of the biggest studios in the country because he doesn't break down his full built set. It was used for the Once Upon a Time in Mexico series, Desperado, Once Upon a Time in Mexico. And then they converted it over when he did Alita. He also did Alita. He's made all these movies: Sin City, Alita, El Mariachi, or not El Mariachi, but Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
I really liked that movie, Alita.
It was, he did it.
That's the Battle Angel, right? The AI faced. It was a bomb. It didn't do well in the box office. But that movie
it actually did, dude.
incredible.
It doubled its profits. It doubled the profit. Yeah, it did twice what they paid in on it. So he did great. His movies have generated over $4 billion. He has the most watched single piece of content that exists on Netflix. It's a superhero kids movie that he made that was an off branch of Spy Kids.
Oh, what?
I actually don't know what the name of it was because he made all the Spy Kids movies, which were enormously well received,
I remember.
Huge money makers.
Never seen one, but I remember they were popular.
Dude, they made like 4 times. All these movies keep making like 4 times the amount of money that he puts into it.
That's why Antonio Banderas was in Spy Kids. He was in Spy Kids
because they go way back, dude. Robert Rodriguez, and dude, and if you saw Machete, like so many of his movies turn into sequels, and the way the investment works is you can invest for as little as $250 and you become an investor. I put in more than that. And you can go all the way up to $1 million, but there's a cap. There's a cap. He's putting in only $1.5 million of the movie budget will be allotted to investors. And then there's percentages of what you'll get back. So you get your money back plus 20%. Like immediately upon that money being available, basically, upon these sellings of each film. If any of them, and then onward past that, any revenue that it makes into the future, we as all investors get to divvy up 10% of those profits. And we will just see how much they make, but he's notorious for making multiple versions, turning them into franchises. And we continue to get 10% divvied up between us of every film that off branches or any show that off branches off of any of the 4 movies for the life of that character or concept and all that.
Wow.
So it's an IP. You get 10% of the IP down the line as well.
No director's ever done it.
Yeah.
He invented a lot of things with cinema. Sin City, he's the first guy to do. I mean, look at the way Sin City looks if you've seen it. It's like he invented a way of filming and bringing a graphic novel to life. He's the guy that invented the shot in the movies where the bomb goes off and there's giant explosions behind people and they're just walking, pretending like that shit ain't happening behind them. Dude, he first did that in Desperado, and it was on accident because they had to do it because they didn't have enough money to pay for a bigger explosion. So they needed it to last longer, so they shot it in slow-mo.
Yeah.
And then that became a thing, and now it's in like every movie, you know? So, but anyway, he's got the giant green screen, like huge green screen set. Again, all these movies in the past 20 years have all been filmed on Troublemaker Studios, and that's where I'm going to go and get to go on a tour with all the filmmakers and people of all these movies through there. So I am stoked. I mean, it hits so many markers and levels, and there's so much in at the worst case scenario, I'll make my money back and have gotten to go to the studio. On the best case scenario, Cue the Muses gets picked up by Robert Rodriguez's production company.
Hell yeah, dog.
So let's go. What's up, buddy?
Tour support.
Tour support.
That's right.
So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited. Yeah. It was an investment. It was a little. I wasn't planning to spend money like that right now, but I put some other things on the back burner and made it happen because to me, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It cuts off at $1.5 million. The last thing I'll say is I had seen an interview with him on Lex Friedman. It's an amazing interview. That's the one I'm going to share. But today he was on Joe Rogan, and I just know that today, if he's on that today, that 1.5 million is going to get eaten up. There's a limit. I mean, maybe by tomorrow. I don't know. I mean, that's too much popularity. Yeah. So
there's too many wealthy people out there. Yeah. That are into that kind of thing. Because I work in a field that is real estate investment, and they do the similar thing with projects. And right now, a company I work for, the owner. The company I used to work for did they had a large overhead, and they would typically self-finance like 20 to 40%, and then they would bank loan finance the other 60 to 80%. But right now, this company I'm working for now, we have an owner who wants to build a condo. He's a foreign owner, but they're absolutely loaded. They want to self-finance like it's a $42.3 million project. Wow. That I build big stuff. That's my day job. Like I build big things. And but just thinking about that, like being able to self-finance, a condominium. It's a condominium. It's a 75 unit condominium, and they're looking to sell the units for $1.5 million a piece. And
wow,
75 of them, even if they only sold them for $1 million, if they only got $1 million for the unit, it still makes sense. At the job cost is like $43 million. But what I'm getting back to with the investment part of it is the other version, like companies like my former company that I worked for used to hunt for investors, like what you're talking about. It's kind of a private game, like Robert Rodriguez doing an advertisement like, hey, open door investment. That's huge. That's like so accessible. It's like he's talking about it on Joe Rogan. The world knows about it. Yeah. Like that's so much buying power right there, because so many people You already, I'm jealous. Like, I feel like Fry, Fry, shut up and take my money.
You can get in on it. You might want to look before the night's over and throw. It takes a minute. You got to do some paperwork it's legit. You got to go through a process, but it's there. You can do it. And then we'll both go. Well, we won't necessarily both get to go. I don't know that you want to spend what I spent, but it'd be easier to get you. Hey, could he also come? Because we're in the same project. We pitched the same idea. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Know. I'm pretty stacked for the next month.
I get it, dude.
2 weeks from now, I'm going to be hanging out with a couple gentlemen, Maynard James Keenan, Les Claypool.
Yes.
A couple other
Santa tour.
Guys, the Santa 2.0.
That's awesome.
Center stage, like third or fourth row back.
Wow.
It's gonna be so dumb.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And they're all playing on the stage at the same time.
Yeah, I've seen clips of them last year when they were doing it, and I really would love to go, but yeah, it's just I don't know. There's too much.
They're too busy hanging out with Robert.
Isn't it hard? Like, how do you choose which way to go? The hardest thing is not like, is there something to do? It's which things to do, because you can't do for everything that you choose to do, whatever route you go. That's something you're also not doing. That's what that equals, is that you're now not doing something else. You've chosen something else, and it's hard to pick the things. But that's why I think you got to think. I think there's periods of the year where you can be more in tune with making big decisions, like, what's the big picture goal? What's the thing that you can do today that's going to be the trajectory forward, that's going to affect more things throughout the year, not just get to the next month, Mm-hmm. And those big decisions are really worth pursuing, because that shapes your whole life. I love the analogy. I think Tony Robbins did it, where he talked about, if you have a boat and you're going on course, and if you just change it 1 degree, you're going to end up on another side of the planet if you keep going.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with our decisions every day. I thought it was beautiful, and I was like, yeah, man, like, all this really adds up and puts you in a different place.
That's a good spin on an analogy that I'm familiar with. That's a little bit more negative than that. In construction, we have an analogy that there's a continuity line, and it's your construction line. You're whether you're writing a song or if you're building a house or whatever, you have a line from start to finish, and it's a straight line to have a perfect job, no problems, no issues. Then, as you're traveling along that line, if something goes wrong, it's often a different trajectory. And what happens is, the more time that goes by, the further it gets away, and essentially the bigger the problem gets. And what that equates to in construction terms is, the more time is lost and the more dollars it costs to correct it.
Yeah.
Right. But I like yours better, because it's a beautiful, like, happy.
Well, it's Tony Robbins. He's a pretty upbeat. That's a positive guy. I've gone through periods he's got good stuff, man. It starts to get a little too involved, but to bounce into his stuff for a week here and there can be really powerful. He's helped me make a lot of money, actually. He's given me, just watching that content, what he puts out at the right time in your life, to get the boldness to make some decisions that have been really defining for some of the trajectory of my business and some of my artistic pathways. So he's great, man. But
yeah, no, I love Tony Robbins. All those guys. I like the Navy SEAL guy. I like Jocko. But there's another one. What's the other guy? The crazy guy.
Sean Baker or something. Sean.
I don't remember his name, but I like him too. I like all those guys.
Yeah.
All those positive.
You know who I like? I like Maurice Mangum.
That's right.
Sometimes I when I'm looking for a little piece of inspiration, I'll just like pop on a little bit of Lonely Girl.
I love it.
Right.
And just start walking.
You sent some tracks to our group chat that you said are some older tracks. They're not that Americana style. How not recent are those? Are those much older, or?
Yeah, they're probably 8-9 years old.
Okay.
Maybe 10.
'Cause it has the same kind of vibe, but I see where you're saying it's you took a little bit of a different direction more recently, but it's still still you. And I love the tone, love the voice. I told you I like that style that you do on those. Is that can you walk me through your songwriting process if you could? Like what do you typically write at home with the acoustic, or how do you like to do it?
Yeah, typically I do. I have so as an acoustic guitar player, singer guy who makes his living playing cover shows and original shows, I've learned covers in different tunings. So I'll learn, like I learned oh gosh, what song is it? Running on Empty. And that's in open G with a drop C. So I took that tuning after learning that song, perfecting it, playing it for a little while. I'm so I'm just adored by this new tuning that I sit down and I'm say, all right, I'm gonna write my next song in that tuning. And I'll put the capo on the fretboard and run it up and down, whatever it takes to get that vibe going. And, that's usually how I start writing. And I've got, I just learned the Rain song the other day, so I took one of my Breed Lows and tuned it to that weird tuning. And
that's interesting. You really lean a lot on using the different tunings as a. The only other tuning I go to is drop D, and now I guess drop C, but it's still so similar. This is not. It's just a lower feel, but what you're talking about is like different versions of different kinds of open tunings, and it's a completely different way to shape chords. And I never go down that rabbit hole. Tell me more about it.
It's dude, it's so enlightening. Have you done it, Dick?
Oh yeah,
he does.
Growing up, I was a big influenced heavily by Days of the New. That all acoustic band that came out, and they did it wasn't new to the world, but they're the ones who opened the door to me to these alternate tunings. And a lot of the songs that kind of hinted on earlier that I wrote on that Martin were in some alternate tuning. A lot of tuning the B string either high or low, and creating droning strings for that sitar kind of feel with open chords. Yeah, man, I love it. I absolutely love it.
That's cool. Awesome. I took like Lonely Girl you mentioned earlier, Ash. I took I want to say it's in open D, and I took I took the high E string, which will be tuned to D, and I tuned it down to C sharp.
Yeah, okay.
Half step lower, and it's what gives it that extra dissonance. Same concept with actually I didn't change that. I have a song called The Way It Used to Be, which is in Dadgad, but I keep it on the 7th fret, and it's got a very minor feel to it, which is kind of odd for Dadgad, but it's cool, man.
Isn't Dadgad classically like country slide guitar tuning?
Pretty much,
Yeah.
Yep.
I need to explore more tunings. I just get so. It's like there's just so many. When I went on a rampage this past year and a half of like just really going back to the grindstone on trying to get better at playing again, and I just kept realizing how many deficiencies I had in all the basics, man. Like, I guess. Well, everything from really getting a better understanding of the fretboard rather than always playing inside of a box.
Yeah.
It's very, very, very comfortable to just, you get so in a pattern of playing in a box here, and then you go here, and here's a box, and here's a box. I just really wanted to open up. I knew where the notes were, but primarily, across the top 2 strings or lower 2 strings, depending on the way you look at it. Yeah. And then it's just, this is like a, uncharted, I can figure it out, but it's like, it's not there.
Right.
And then there's that, and now it's very different. Intervallic note patterns is really like what opened the door. Scale patterns is what opened the door for me to just it's changed the entire way I look at the fretboard. So that's really exciting. But then there's just the physical aspect. I was telling Dick, like I started going back to sometimes I'll go for an hour and I won't use my left hand. Just work on patterns with your right hand. This is something that Kiko LaRue was talking about, which is he was the guitar player for Megadeth for a while as a fill-in, and he does his own stuff. And yeah, it was interesting. And I was like, let me try. And then it's like, holy shit, he's right. And then there's just a lot of things, but it's still a lot of the same stuff. You just realize when you have to isolate where the hiccups are and where like and so I get so consumed with that. It's like, I'm not thinking about doing another tuning right now. Like, I don't even know how to arpeggiate up and down the strings without fucking up every other one. Like, I can get it to work for a run, but I want to be able to do it nonstop pedaling for a minute. Shouldn't I be able to do that by now?
Yeah, it's like you gotta revert your brain back to that young teenage spongy brain that just is curious and everything's new again, and that, like, what you're doing is accessing that. And Mo, what you're talking about is also accessing that. It's that, what happens is you find an alternate tuning and then, that sounds new. That sounds different.
Right.
And then you explore that, because that's what happened. That's what happened. The rabbit holes that I go down is, oh man, let me play with that. Like, my son is 15 and he's in here, and like, I came in one day and he had a guitar tuned down to this low tuning, lower than I would have ever went. It's drop. It's like a drop D tuning, but the low D is a B sharp. And so it's a half
C.
It's a half step down from C. C flat.
Is he playing Deftones?
He was playing Acid Bath.
Okay.
He's playing Acid Bath. And I think it's a maybe B flat. Sorry, not B
sharp.
That makes more
sense.
B
because
flat.
B sharp would be a C.
There is. You said it's a C. It is a C. It's B flat. It's A sharp.
Dude, I think we should write a song called B sharp.
B sharp.
Yeah.
We should. But it was I picked it up and there was a combination of things. It was in this B sharp tuning, and I also had my amp set on this fuzz pedal. I've got this cool fuzz pedal with a whale on it. It's called the Whaler. And it's seafoam green, my favorite color. But it was like so weird and low, and I was like, and now I have a guitar that lives in that tuning. And like Ash, you haven't really found this out yet, but there's that's going to be a thing for me. And you'll have to figure out how to
new tunings
accompany.
You're in this tuning.
It's in that tuning. Yeah.
Okay.
The string gauges, the string gauges on my guitar that I had set for C work just fine, because it's not that much further down, and it's like, we're gonna do a heavy song, like it's weird because the fuzz song that I wrote it's like it's almost in a major key. It has a major key like verse that's almost, it's like upbeat, and it's like, it's fun. It like,
awesome.
Music sounds fun, like stuff like that.
Yeah. I want some different vibes constantly. I don't want to be locked in back to this box thing. Like,
yes,
sound wise, like we don't have to conform to anything. And that's part of having the different singers on every song like we do. And speaking of which, prior to this, when I was inviting Mo on the show, we had a private conversation first, and then I set up our group together. And Mo has not. This is not the first time Mo has mentioned this, but he wants to try out as one of the singers on one of the next Key of the Muses songs.
Oh,
and I was like,
your voice is amazing.
dude, I know. I was like, I've told Mo how much I love his voice, and I was like, here's the thing. And this is kind of a fun. We'll close out the episode talking about this because Mo, we do want you to try out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
When I say try out, the thing is that we've had so many singers now. It's that are interested in singing on more Cue the Muses stuff, and we're not doing that right now. We're still next year. We're going to put out our last two songs that are already recorded. The music videos are done for them. We're building up our fan base more right now. But when we do the next album, what me and Dick have, I love saying do. And when we do the next album, even if it's, 6-song EP or something like that, I think it needs to be about 6 to 8 songs. What me and Dick have talked about consistently is for at least a couple, if not a few of them, we want to honor the singers that were on the first album as much as we can. Yeah. But then in addition to that, with having a few more songs, we want to have like a public tryout where people get to like hear different singers' ideas on the songs, and we circulate that around and get votes on it. And so the fans get to kind of pick out what they think, and not the whole song, just maybe a verse and a chorus. And you get to hear 4 or 5 different singers from around, well, potentially even the country, trying to sing what they would do on that, and then the people get to vote. And I just think that this is a really, really fun interactive way for people to almost like a choose your own adventure book, but it's a choose your own adventure album. And then that also spirals into, maybe hopefully if we can get a budget, we're going to do another video series. Hello, Robert Rodriguez. So
thank you in advance for the funding, Mr. Rodriguez.
We appreciate it. If you want to, we will listen to anything you have to say that we need to do with it. Just if we can just keep the music the way we wrote it, and we're the ones performing our music, we're good. We could even have, honestly, dude, I'm so open. I would even be okay if they wanted to do different actors for the main thing, and we're just what they look like inside the Museverse. As long as we're performing our own music,
yes,
I'm okay with that. Like,
as long as
I'm okay with that.
As long as Mark Wahlberg's not pretending to play guitar for me, and who's the famous
right.
And Jason Momoa's not, pretending to be.
Dude, if Jason Momoa plays me in the main episode and then I'm what he looks like in the Museverse, that would be hilarious.
The ladies would be so disappointed.
It'd be so disappointing. He looks like shit in the Museverse. Let's get back to the show.
He was hot in the show. What's this music guy's thing? What's going on? I don't like this.
Oh man, we'll see what happens. But Mo, we absolutely would love to hear what you'd come up with, and we'll have to figure out what we did last time. Is we thought of particular singers that we wanted to try for particular songs. Yeah. Kind of keeping in mind what their general sound is, and like I bet blank would come up with a really cool idea on this. Right. And then we tried out a few singers, a couple of them were like mandatory. Like for instance, my old singer from Kill Cluso had to sing on something, and Big Dave just had to sing on something, and Kurt had to sing on something too. Those are like definitively on the roster because we've done so much together in different ways. Yeah. But outside of that, we were bringing in other people, and Russ and Nadira killed it on.
Oh gosh, yeah, man.
I mean, we were blown away. Whew.
They're perfect for the songs that they did. They're perfect.
It worked out so well, and we had tried out a few people for the one that Russ was on. It was a hard decision, but when we heard Russ's concept, it became not a hard decision because it was that just makes sense. That's it. We didn't know what we wanted to hear on there exactly, but what he delivered on the first takes was like, that we don't have that sound on the album. And that's what we want, is we want it to be diverse. Yeah. And Mo, you've got definitely a very distinct, awesome, huge voice.
Stay here with me. I need you more than any old neon alibi.
and I just love it tonally. I love where you can take it, and it'd be really exciting to hear what you'd come up with on an idea for future stuff. But this will probably be over a year from now. So, but it's on there, dude. You're on the list, man.
That's
for
great,
sure.
dude. Well, I mean, like I said earlier in our private conversation, I'm like my new music that we've been putting out, like the first EP, this one we're working on, the following one, it's all in the Americana box. Okay.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I have so much energy to put towards other song, like stylistically other kinds of music. That I want to be a part of that and in each and every way that I can. So, I mean, I grew up a rock singer anyways. I mean, you know what I mean?
yeah. Oh, totally, man. Yeah.
And Mo, just so you know, the project we were talking about earlier, that Ash and I are going to do with Kyle in June. The plan right now is I have to keep reins on this because I can't let it get too out of hand. So then it's like this uncontrolled thing that's just a cacophony and not getting progress done. But wrangling this in, the plan right now is that on the studio day, the pre-production is done. Kyle's going to work with me, with Ash, and the front end to get this thing written so that the day of recording, the first half of the day is very procedural. Like the music is going to happen. There'll be a little bit of time for some like experimental stuff. I've got a couple local players. I've got a local lead guitar player, country guy, bluegrass guy going to come do some stuff, and a fiddle player, amazing fiddle player is going to come and then kind of like ad lib a little bit of that vibe on top of it. But the second half of the day, I'm going to have like multiple Tallahassee vocalists in the room. Right. And it's going to be, let's get creative. Let's see where's this going? What's happening? Where are we at? You know, like, okay, who works best in this part? Let's all get together and everybody's there. And if somebody sings, you know, a 10-second thing and that's it, you know, it doesn't matter. It's just, it's a thing for everyone to be a part of. I think that you could absolutely have a seat at that table. You know, if it works out schedule wise and you want to just come in and hang out or whatever, like that second half of the day is for that. Yeah. That's the plan right now.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate that invitation, bro. I love going to the studio anyways. No clocks on the wall. I just love to just be in the room. Yeah. I'm crazy like that.
It'll be fun, man.
Sometimes they've come like once or twice and they won't come with me anymore.
Yeah,
this sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to film a couple of. I don't have time to do a big thing on it, but even if I just film a few clips of the experience, we can air it on the podcast when the song comes out and just talk about that experience. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's not like a full blown production. Like this is more like for fun. You know, my kids in it. You know, it's not totally serious, but it is like about capturing that spontaneity a little bit, you know, like nothing's set in stone. Like if we go in, the music's going to be kind of pre-written, but I'm going to keep it fluid. You know, if something needs to change and we do it there, like we're going to orchestrate this in a way that it works in the session. And it's not going to be, you know, if you get too many people with too many conflicting ideas, you know, in the room, it can get kind of steered in the wrong direction, kind of get bogged down. But there won't be any of that. It's going to be procedural for the first half, and then
lyrically, topically, can we just decide that it's a love song about Robert Rodriguez? I mean,
well, yes.
That way I can send him this.
Yes,
and
but
we'll serenade him.
The love song is about all of our instruments tell stories, but the story is all of our instruments were touched by Mr. Rodriguez.
Oh, Desperado! Oh, we got to say Antonio Banderas somewhere in the lyrics.
The guitar case full of guns.
Oh my God, that's just that.
Thing. Just that. That's all.
And maybe it's just Rodriguez.
How about a gun case full of guitars?
Oh my God!
I like that idea. More.
Oh,
The gun
we're gonna
string
win this
full of
guy over,
guitars.
Home
guys.
security, baby. Home security.
Except it's a pistol case and it's a
Bring it in.
tiny little guitar.
Oh, the tiniest guitar. Oh, that'd be a hell of a video with a big spotlight, and it's just a man and a little teeny guitar playing like this at the beginning. Jung jung jung, and then it goes to banjo. Man, too many ideas to realistically execute. But yes, Robert Rodriguez love song. That's what the topic is.
Nice.
Rodriguez.
In Hawaii, and the priest played a nose flute. It was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, whoa. You can do a nose flute? Who can do a nose flute?
The priest that married my wife and I in Hawaii.
Oh my God. What? I've never heard of
flute. Like with the air from the nose on the flute?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even know such a thing was a thing.
There's no way I could do it. My deviated septum.
That's exactly what it was.
Actually, I have snot on the flute.
I've only got one nostril to work with.
You can't play this thing in the spring. It just won't happen. Here you do it. No.
On that note, guys.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks for hanging.
Yeah, Mo, awesome talking with you, buddy. And I'll see you soon enough. It sounds like we're all going to meet up in the studio in a month or so.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Hell yeah. All
Hey,
right, guys.
Jake, you want to go to? I'll send you the link for Nashville for the.
Send it to us. Yeah.
Do it.
Send it to both.
We're going
of
to
us.
share that for
All
sure.
right.
I'll make a clip out of just that too, so people know about it. We'll help get people out there.
Cool.
All right, guys, thanks for hanging. This has been episode 73 of the MuseCast with Dick and Ash and special guest, Mr. Mo Mangum.
Mangum.
I keep saying Magnum, but it's
Mangum.
Mangum.
Mo Mangum. PI.
It's a common thing. It's all right.
Before I hit end, I will say when I told Amber who was our guest, I said Maurice Mangum. She said, "Is he a porn star?"
No, but
we're
my
out.
porn name is Maui Mango. So
Maui Mango.
And he plays the nose flute, everybody. So.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.